Hi guys, it's Margie Young, and I've had a lot of questions about making kombucha. So today I'm gonna start a little three-part video series about making kombucha at home. So what I'm gonna start with is talking about the SCOBY, and the SCOBY is what makes kombucha what it is. It's the probiotic culture of bacteria and yeast. It actually stands for symbiotic culture of bacteria and yeast, and it is what makes kombucha so good for us. So today I'm going to talk about how to make one of those to start your kombucha with. So here are our supplies. You will need one big glass jar. You will need some sugar. I use these organic raw sugar crystals. They are a little less processed than regular white refined sugar. It is good quality sugar, and I think I bought that whole bag for something like $7 at Walmart. And then I use these Tetley black tea bags. They're really nice because they don't have any strings or tags on them. It's just a little pod that has the tea inside. And then I have a cloth and a rubber band, and that will just be used to cover your jar. You will need filtered water and one bottle of store-bought plain kombucha. Make sure that it's plain. You don't want flavor in there at all. Okay, so over here I've started boiling some water, and it's probably hot enough that I can put my tea in. I've got 4 of these, or actually 5 of these tea bags, the Tetley tea that I showed you before, and I'm just going to toss these right in here. Okay, and I'm going to turn the heat off, and I'm going to pour about a half a cup of sugar in. This is just for making the SCOBY. We'll go over how much tea and water to use for the batch of real tea when we go over that. But this is just in order to make your SCOBY. So I'm going to stir that with, I have a special spoon. It's a big spoon. So I try really hard not to use metal utensils. It will interfere with your tea. So what we do with that then is we just let it steep. You want to let it cool to room temperature, and I usually just leave it in the pan or in the pot, and I once it cools down a little bit, I'll cover it with a cloth or something so that I don't worry about dust or anything getting in there. So I'm just going to leave that, and then it's going to cool to room temperature. Okay, so now we have this pot of very dark, cooled, room temperature sweet tea. I left the tea bags in there until it was finished cooling, and I just took them out of the pot. And now what I'm going to do is pour some of this into the big glass jar. Hopefully I don't spill any. And that's probably enough. You just want something for the bacteria to eat. Okay, so I poured the tea into the jar, and now I have this bottle of plain kombucha, and I'm going to pour half of this bottle into the jar. Maybe a little more than half. So I cut my cloth into there's a square that's big enough to go over the top of the jar, and I'm just going to put that on top. And then I'm going to take my rubber band and put it over the top, like this. So that's all you need to do. Then what you do is you put it in a cupboard someplace out of direct sunlight, and then you wait about 8 to 10 days, and you'll see a film go across the hot top, and it's not mold. That's the thing that you want. So don't jostle the jar, don't shake it. Just let it be, and I'll show you a picture of what it looks like when it's done. So in about 8 to 10 days, you'll have a SCOBY, and that's what this is. It looks weird. It feels kind of weird. It's might smell a little bit like vinegar. That's okay. It's healthy. So long as it doesn't have spots of green. This is all kind of a translucent thing. So you're going to use this in your batch of kombucha. So there's your SCOBY.